episode of Cooking with Jason is brought to you by the letter K for kale chips. Kale chips are the treat that's healthy and nutritious and green. Yum.
Delicious. Oh.
I wonder where the kale chips went. Does anybody know where the kale chips went? Man, they took the last one. On this episode of Cooking with Jason, we'll be making not black cake. We'll be making Great
That was
Depression.
last week.
Yeah, that was 3 weeks ago. We'll be
Delicious
making
cake, by the way.
Depression chocolate cake. Now, this recipe is out of the Great Depression. Can you back up some? Okay. This recipe is out of the Great Depression, a time when milk and eggs were too expensive. And this
Don't be confused with Y2K, not the same year.
I'm sorry. No.
It's also vegan.
Oh.
Vegan, yes.
This cake is also vegan. So if you want to have a cake that is easy to make and also vegan, it's great.
It's also Hindu kosher. Because it's Hindu kosher because we can't have eggs either.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Brought to my attention by Mickey. It's Hindu kosher. If you're Hindu, you can have it because it's great. It's just great.
It fits religious and
It fits religious and dietary.
It's religious and nutritious.
It's religious and nutritious.
It's there, see?
All right. Before you start your cake, you have to preheat your oven to 350 degrees, and you should also oil a pan. I like to use a springform pan. It's just easy. It's your preference. This cake makes only one layer, so again, you want to oil your pan first.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, he did wash his hands before he started.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Yes. We have two witnesses to prove that.
Yes. Cleanliness is important.
Yep, cleanliness. And again, please do not use antibacterial hand sanitizers and then cook. Bad idea. Always use soap and water.
Yes. And once you have it oiled like that,
Still focus me.
okay, you want to add just enough flour for it to stick. To start off your Great Depression cake, you need 1/2 cup of flour. 1 1/2 cups of flour. You need 1 cup of white sugar. You need 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 6 tablespoons of vegetable oil, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and a cup of water. Now, basically this recipe is really easy. Just put everything in the bowl and you mix it up. So here we go. So we're gonna add our 1 1/2 cups of flour.
If you act right now, people, you will get a free spatula.
Oh yes, a free spatula. Nobody will turn that down. 1 cup of white sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 6 tablespoons of vegetable oil.
Humane oil, of course, right?
Of course it's humane. I wouldn't use anything else. And 1 cup of water. I'm gonna leave the vinegar for last because it bubbles up when you add it. Then
So paranoid.
you mix this cake with your whisk and see how easy it mixes. It's really easy. You don't need to do anything extra. It's a lot of mixing. Okay, your pan should look like this after it's been floured and oiled, or oiled and floured, or vice versa, whichever way you want to do it.
Or flour, not flour first.
Flour or oil, and then You want to get a flexible spatula. Flexible spatula.
Same one you gotta get for free.
Yes. And put your cake in there.
Like butter flows in.
But not like butter. This is vegan. Okay.
What, really? No butter?
While your cake is in the oven, you can make a frosting. I chose to make a cream cheese frosting because, you know, keeping with the theme, it's easy to make and you don't need a lot of ingredients. So for my cream cheese frosting, I use about 4 ounces of cream cheese. You can say like half a pack of cream cheese, and you want to throw it in your trusty food processor.
Extremely trusty.
It's extremely trusty. Cream cheese frosting usually calls for powdered sugar, but then again, this is just a dessert slapping together. So you can just use regular sugar. Just enough to make it sweet. I don't know the measurement on it.
Will brown sugar work, or it has to be white?
It has to be white sugar. Has to be white sugar. A bit of vanilla extract.
Fun fact, you can actually get drunk off of that. But don't do it, it's gonna make you feel
You
sick.
have to drink a lot of this to get drunk off of it.
Isn't it like 9% alcohol, or like 99 or 96?
Still have to drink a lot. So you want to food process this? Now you've got a cream cheese frosting. And we'll set this aside for when the cake comes out of the oven. Another thing I like to do is to food process nuts to go on top of the cake. You know, if you got the cream cheese frosting and the nuts going on, I have some leftover Brazil nuts and hazelnuts that I'll be throwing in the food processor. And you want to give these just a quick pulse. And that's about it. Just enough to be able to sprinkle over the top of your cake. And the cake will be coming out next.
Cut?
Yes. It's been 30 minutes and our cake is coming out of the oven.
It's such a cool oven, I can't show you, it's top secret.
It's a cool oven, but you can't see it, I'm sorry.
No.
Alright.
There it is, guys.
Our cake has just come out of the oven, and you know it's done when you stab it through the middle and it comes out clean. So we're gonna let this cool. One more time? One more time. Okay, so we're gonna stab it through the middle. It comes out clean. Oh, hold on. We're gonna stab it through the side. It comes out clean. One more time. What?
Just let me focus on the dang thing.
Alright, so our cake is done. We're gonna let this cake cool for about an hour. And then afterwards, we're gonna frost it with our non-vegan frosting. If you choose to use the non-vegan frosting, the one that I just made, you can use that. Or you can have this cake with a vegan ice cream, like coconut, vanilla ice cream, a coconut milk ice cream, or almond milk ice cream. It'll go really well. It's cold, so you can open springform pan. And with this Great Depression cake, it's only one layer. So
Because they didn't have a lot back then.
No,
just one layer for the kids.
All you got was one layer. And you didn't even get this frosting with it.
It was just cake?
You drank it with water.
It was just cake?
Well, the frosting is from the future, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're going to put our frosting on there.
Well, not that future, because if it was modern time, it would have some, you know, like gluten or whatever product in it. This is like from the 90s instead.
90s frosting.
Yeah.
70s frosting.
Yeah, 70s frosting.
Yeah, the 90s frosting had the...
Had the hippie stuff in it.
No. the genetically modified, engineered stuff.
Ah.
Well, 70s frosting was not that much better. They didn't know anything about anything back then.
Well, anyway, this is grandma frosting, okay?
Okay.
This is somebody's frosting.
Humane frosting?
I probably should have made more frosting, but again, this is a Great Depression cake. You know, if you live here in the Northeast, this is January, so pretty depressing. So, you know, I'm sure this cake will be enough to fix any depression you may have, at least for a little while.
Well, the kids don't love the snow days. It's happy for them, at least.
And then you sprinkle your
Ignore me like a
nuts
pro.
on top.
Mixed nuts.
You want nuts all over the cake, just all over
Makes
the cake.
sense.
All right. And that is your Great Depression cake.
Brought to you by
Letter K. And kale chips. The chips that are delicious, nutritious, and green.
and religious. Oh no, that was a cake. Never mind.
No, this is the delicious cake. These are green chips. The green chips, all right?
Yep.
All right. Signing out. Goodbye.